Everyone, my name is Taylor Sparks. I'm the editor-in-chief for Integrating Materials and Manufacturing Innovation, and we've got a new paper to talk about. It has to do with using a physics-informed deep learning approach for predicting remaining useful life, and it comes from our friends at Hamad bin Khalifa University. This is Khaled Dibi, Hazan Nono, Fedwa Melohi, and Mohammed Nono. Now, if you're not familiar with remaining useful life, it's an important approach. It's something that we can use for predictive maintenance. You need to know how long a component might be in service if it's under an application where it's continually degrading over time. And there's been a lot of tools and approaches out there to work on this, right? There's been deep data-driven models, in particular approaches like LSTM, long short-term memory approaches that take time series data and predict forward, right? Obviously, you're going to be a useful one here. Says that they can capture nonlinear temporal patterns without handcrafted features, but there are some limitations in their approach. First off, they are black box, right? Sometimes they give physically implausible or brittle approaches. There you get problems with domain shift. Another one is that these physics-informed approaches have baked in fixed parameters, and they can sometimes misrepresent unit-to-unit variability, and they can bias forecasts. So in other words, we want to be guided by physics, but not restrained strictly, because there is some variability we need to account for. And the last thing is that practitioners still rely on expert frequency domain features that can complicate this pipeline and make it hard to scale. So they propose a potential solution. It is a physics-informed bidirectional LSTM, so PI-BiLSTM, right? What this is going to do is it's going to inject physics, hence the physics-informed, right? They're going to use the Paris law, which makes sense. That describes crack growth, and in bearings, which is the application they're going to test here, those should fail due to fatigue, so it should be a potential Paris law relationship there. But the key is that instead of using fixed parameter schemes, they're going to learn those coefficients from the sequential data that they're collecting and use that to guide the predictive model via a Gaussian process where they're estimating these parameters, C and M, the crack growth constants, and these get estimated by the bounded nonlinear least squares to get a sort of robust log-log fallback. So let's see it in action. If you're not familiar with this type of testing, essentially you have a motor. This motor is going to start spinning. You reduce that down to some sort of reasonable amount through some gearing. You monitor the speed, right? Here's your speed sensor. Over here you have your torque meter, right? Where you're measuring the torque. You have your coupler, and now you actually have the bearings being tested where they have a force sensor on them. That's going to be essentially the diagnostic telling you what's happening, if they're going out or not, with some accelerometers as well. If you're not familiar with LSTMs, the long short-term memory approach, this was some of the early deep learning approaches for sequential data. One of the benefits is that the previous time step, some information about that gets passed forward into this short-term memory, right? The current data point gets added to that in some way. There's a series of operators that are possible here, and then that gets passed forward to the next time step. Thereby, you can learn over time, preserving some type of memory of previous data points. So it tends to be pretty good at forecasting time series data. And obviously there are variations of this one, like this here, the bi-LSTM, where it allows for both backwards and forward memory. But here's, I think, the heart of their paper is described in this figure here. This block diagram shows the PI-BiLSTM, right? Where they're introducing this Paris regularization, right? In stage A in the top left, that's where they're going to estimate the Paris parameters for the sequence with accounting for uncertainty. And then in stage B down in the center, that's where they're going to train their model with this physics regularized bi-LSTM, right? So they're using physics now as a guide, right? Stage C allows them to select the hyperparameters for Bayesian optimization. Passing that forward to stage D, this is where you aggregate models together to create a calibrated ensemble. And since this is a machine learning approach, we ultimately want to see how it performs. Shown here in figure 12, you're seeing the residual, the histogram, right? The residual over time and the actual QQ plot. So it's showing you the quantities of the input versus the standard normalized quantities. And it's okay, but it has pretty significant residuals. That's for the standard LSTM without the physics informing. And now compare that with their approach, which includes this physics informed bi-LSTM. The residual is dramatically lower, right? It is a much better model. It's really able to learn this pretty effectively. So I think this is pretty cool. They've essentially flipped the script when it comes to the physics-informed machine learning approach. Instead of treating physics as this rigid rule book that has to be followed, instead they're treating it as essentially a flexible compass that is able to guide their process, and they're incorporating into uncertainty calculations, so they're ultimately able to come up with models that better describe the performance of these bearing materials in predicting remaining useful life. I hope you'll check it out in the latest issue of IMMI.